Atletico Madrid's season went from bad to worse on Tuesday. A 2-1 defeat against Porto means that they're completely out of Europe. They knew going into this time they weren't going to qualify for the knockout stages of the Champions League. Needed a result in Portugal, couldn't get it. So in the end, they finished bottom of the group, so won't even be in the Europa League come 2023. Ali Moreno was keeping an eye on this game. Oh dear, Ali.
Oh dear is right. Now, a few points about this game, just in case you need a little bit of context. Jan Oblak was the best player for Atletico Madrid. In the first half, he had to come up with save after save after save. And it just really gives you a sense of what Atletico Madrid is right now. Following the disappointment from last week, then disappointment over the weekend and losing to Cádiz. And then you think, all right, well, at some point, at the very least, Atletico Madrid is going to show some fight. Not really. Already down 2-0, 27th minute, ball goes out of bounds on the left-hand side, final third. Porto just goes and gets the ball naturally. It's not like they're hurrying up. They get the ball, they throw the ball in, and so all of a sudden they have a 1v1 situation in front of Jan Oblak, while Atletico Madrid are just simply kind of walking, slow jogging back, and you're thinking, this is not Atletico Madrid. So to that point, I would say this. Any other manager in a similar circumstance, if it wasn't Diego Simeone in Atletico Madrid, that manager would be in a lot of trouble. We know Diego Simeone and the relationship with Atletico Madrid. We know what he means to the club, and so therefore he's not going anywhere unless he decides to walk away himself whenever he decides to do so. But this club right now seems to be getting worse rather than better, and we do not know when is it that things are going to turn around. And I don't think Simeone knows that either.
It's crazy, Ali, when you think of it and you think of what he's achieved at this club. It is damaging his legacy. Inevitably, it was going to fall apart at one stage or another. No manager is perfect forever. But all the chips seem to be, all the buzz seems to be in his court with regards to his future and what he wants to do. You look at the personnel that's on the pitch. They're surely good enough to play better than they are. That's why all the blame seems to be falling at his feet.
Absolutely. And when you think of the personality of Diego Simeone and when you think of what he wants his club and his team to do on the field, we always think about intensity and energy and fight, and we're going to defend well. Well, that's not happening. And so if that's not happening, but you're also not attacking very well, you're also not creating a lot of opportunities, you're also not scoring a lot of goals, then what is it that he's going to hang on to? It was supposed to be that the return of Jose Maria Jimenez and Savage was going to be the key to the success of Atletico Madrid in Champions League, because they were going to solidify this back line. Well, they've returned and they're still allowing goals. So if the personality of Simeone is about defending, it's about fighting, it's about intensity, it's about energy, you watch the first half today, there was none of that from Atletico Madrid. So that's a referendum on the players, of course, but certainly on Diego Simeone himself. So we have to start asking the question, I mean, are these players into what Diego Simeone is saying anymore? Or is the message getting older? Is the message just simply not coming through? Is the yelling and screaming and the intensity and the energy sort of at this point useless, because we don't really get the best version of Atletico Madrid? We don't get them defending, we don't get them attacking, we just get them surviving on the field, and eventually things break down.
I mean, his style of play only has credibility when you have success or relative success.
Which he's had a lot of with it.
Which he's had success. But he hasn't had success. If we look at managers who play in a similar way, and we've talked at length, not just today, but over the last few weeks, about Antonio Conte, who's probably more progressive than Diego Simeone, and that's saying a lot. And then we look at Jose Mourinho, three managers in a kind of similar mindset, not exactly, but similar. Certainly Conte and Mourinho have had huge success. He's had some success, Diego Simeone. But that credibility starts to fall away when results start to fall away and the football's dire. Now, Atleti fans think he's the Messiah, and they will do to a certain point, and then that has to change. The game has changed. The game has changed. 30 years ago, it was okay to play this way. But that was when teams played with two big strikers and four defenders, and, you know, the whole game was different. Fans have always wanted to be entertained, but never more than now. It's more expensive to go and watch the game. It can be consumed by more people because it's on every day, every weekend, every TV screen around the world. People are more knowledgeable now about what they're seeing and what they're paying for. And quite frankly, unless you're getting the results, and he's not, this style is archaic. And there is no excuse now for him because he's going to be going in after the World Cup to La Liga, and there's no blame in European football. It's La Liga, week in, week out, domestic competition, and it's up to him to turn it around. But this is not just, it's not just now. This was the whole of last season. The whole of last season, Dan, we all sat here covering La Liga saying he has no idea what his best team is. And now we're, 3-4 months into this season, and we're in the same position.
That's the thing, Ali, isn't it? You're looking at it and you're thinking, has he got the ability to turn it around? Has he got the players on board enough to keep with him and keep with this strategy? Because as it stands and what we've seen, even the most optimistic of Atleti fans must be looking at this and be concerned.
Well, I think even beyond looking at the players and what he has available and the player personnel that is there at Atletico Madrid, the first question, and I think the biggest question to ask of Diego Simeone is, does he have the flexibility in his mind to let go? To let go of what is in his soul, in his heart, in his blood, the way to win games? Does he have the flexibility to then say, you know what, let's allow these players to truly showcase who they are on the field. Let's allow this team to be more progressive, to take the game into the attacking half and have possession of the ball in the attacking half and create chances, because on paper you have the players to do so. At the very least, against most of the opposition you find in La Liga, and certainly you would have thought so against the group stage that they had in front of them in Champions League. That flexibility doesn't exist. When things get tight for Atletico Madrid, Simeone doesn't go, hey, let's open it up and play. No. He says, let's get back here. Let's get behind the ball. Let's defend with our lives, and hopefully we'll find something on a set piece. Well, that was fine and well when you could actually score on set pieces and not give up goals on set pieces, where you could actually be tight defensively and not allow goals every time you show up on the field. And that's what we found with Atletico Madrid right now, that they can't defend the way that they once did. They're not allowed to go on the attack the way that they want to, so they're in between. And when they're in between, they get destroyed by better teams. And again, I go back to the first 45 minutes today against Porto. Porto could have scored 4 or 5 goals. You go into the second half, Atletico Madrid was marginally better. Not all that much better, marginally better, and Porto still had chances. This team can't defend, they can't attack. So if I'm Diego Simeone, I'm asking myself the question, what can this team do and what can I do for this team right now? And I don't think their answers are straightforward.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.